Hey, this is Detroit Bob, and I collect 7-inch vinyl for fun and profit. Back to Florida. I don't care if it's night or day. I like to get out of town in the middle of winter. And we had such a good time the first time around, we decided to do it again. Here we go down for New Year's, right after Christmas, and we try to get in a little sunshine. So let's see if the weather will cooperate with us, but also if the vinyl gods are smiling down upon us. I did the mystery car again, and this time I got a Mustang convertible. Detroit Bob is loving this. Hey, this is Detroit Bob. We're back down in Florida, and it's going to be a good trip. I already got a few places planned out to look at some vinyl. We're going to hit the coastal area. We're going to go up near Orlando, and I got a really good feeling that I'm going to find some Beatles on Vee-Jay and some really good gems. So stick with us. It's going to be a great episode. I never do any vinyl shopping on a travel day. The key is to get there safely and unwind. And when you stare out over the ocean and then hit the town for a few cold ones to help relax with some good friends, that's the best way to start. There'll be plenty of time for vinyl, but first I like to take in a little Pretenders. We had Alex and Chris playing Seaside, so it was a really nice first day and a nice day to unwind. All right, Detroit Bob, we're back in Florida. So I'm going to the vinyl shop and giving this little Mustang a spin. See what we find. All right, let's check this place out. Give it a shot. All right, we got a new place here never been to before, so let's give it a try. Gotta love Florida. Awesome. Yeah. How's it going? Good. You mind if I roll video for my YouTube channel?
Sure.
You guys have any 45s?
Yeah. Yep. In the back corner there.
Awesome. Cool. I'm loving this, a dedicated section. All right, it's time to start looking. Now there's a couple reasons why I speed this up when I do the voice overlay. First of all, the microphone hears everything, and I've been dinged a couple times by copyright infringement rules from YouTube. Who needs that? So it also gives me a chance for you to hear my thoughts. And this record store is not that much different than the one I walked into with a girl in 1988. It was our first date. And what really, really blew me away way back then was the records that she picked out. Now, I always had a theory. You could sort of tell what a person was all about if you got to flip through their record collection and see what they played. And what blew me away on this day was what she bought. Not so much Human League, it was popular at the time. But when she bought that Frank Zappa album, that just made me scratch my head. And I've been trying to figure it out ever since. Hey, what's this? Vee-Jay 465, the Four Seasons. This is so close to Beatles 498, I can scream. I'm getting close. I have a feeling I'm looking through someone's personal collection, but this is the magic label. It's only a few digits away from Holy Grail Beatles. So why do I think this is someone's collection? Because these records have been curated. They're all in the same white envelope or sleeve. They've been priced, they've been categorized according to price, and they're fairly well organized. This is definitely someone's collection. All right.
Go ahead and check out with those. What's the loyalty program?
Yeah, you can sign up every time you get $100. You just get $10 off.
Oh, okay.
Just type in your number, hit that blue button.
All right, cool. I'll try to get you on my YouTube channel.
Q10.
Okay, cool. Can I get a sticker too?
Yeah, take as many as you want.
All right, I'll be back. Thank you.
All right, 1 record store down, 2 to go. I'm really hoping that these 2 up in Orlando come through. But for right now, a little rest and relaxation. Made it to Orlando. We're at my good friend Channing's house. But there's a slight problem. Chilling by the poolside is fun, but everything is closed till way after the New Year's. And that includes the 2 primo record shops that I wanted to go to. So plan B, you gotta have a great space to listen to vinyl. And we're gonna talk about that. It's known as the Vinyl Lounge in my world. Channing may just be able to help me out with that.
What I was going to tell you is the Warhol has been framed.
Great.
Oh, thank you. And anyways, I got a call from the guy. He says it's framed and ready to go. And so the Vinyl Lounge is coming along. I know you got the phone.
Right.
And that was a few years ago. And now the Warhol is going to go up above the turntable, above the Philips turntable. I got you're the art dealer.
Right.
You're the collector, and you know people. So I got an idea.
Okay.
And I want to find a piece of art by a guy named Stanley Mouse.
Mouse? Okay.
Yeah, he's from Detroit.
Detroit.
He was originally involved in like the hot rod monster car thing, but he moves out to San Francisco in the 60s and becomes one of the top 5 renowned poster artists of the whole San Francisco scene, you know, peace and love in the 60s.
Right.
But he's a native Detroiter, so he's got the grit, he's got the, you know, the whole resume going. He ends up designing the Grateful Dead, a lot of their cover art, and the iconic skull with the lightning bolt.
Right.
Do you have any connections in the art world that could, you know?
Right. I got a guy over in Cincinnati that tends to collect those types of posters. They may have something that they'd be willing to, you know, part with.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular band or genre that we're looking for on this?
Well, I love the film, what they call the Fillmore era.
The Fillmore era.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the famous venue that the Grateful Dead, preceded by a place called the Avalon, but it's really the Fillmore era from about 66 up to about 70.
Okay.
That if I had one of his pieces in the Vinyl Lounge, that would be totally RockMine material.
All right.
And Detroit Bob would love you forever.
Absolutely.
And so see what you can do.
Okay, that shouldn't be too hard to pull together. So we need somebody from a Mouse from about 66 to 70.
Fillmore era.
Fillmore era,
It would probably be a poster for a concert at the Fillmore that he hand drew.
Okay.
And he was probably in his 20s at the time.
Okay.
And those are the most collected posters in all of rock and roll.
Sure.
And that's the kind of stuff Detroit Bob and RockMine viewers live for.
All right. Well, let me put a few calls in and let's see what we can get for you, Bob.
All right. So I'll be down. I come through Orlando, as you know, about 3 or 4 times a year. This might be a slow burn. Take your time.
Okay.
But I have a feeling we'll be visiting, you know, again, and we'll sort of check on the progress.
Now, some of them that are still around might be in kind of rough condition.
Yes.
Do you have a particular? Do you want like fair, good? You know, is there a quality that we're looking for?
I'm not an art snob.
Okay.
I'm from Detroit, so if it had a bunch of diesel grease on it, and it was actually a used poster.
Okay.
Even if it wasn't signed, I'm not looking for signed artwork in this
Okay.
case. If it was actually a used poster in good plus condition, I think it's cooler because that means someone read that off a telephone pole
Right.
and tore it down and shoved it under their bed for 50 years.
Well, that's helpful because I got a source in LA that might be better for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we can check with them as well and see what we can get for you, Bob.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you came through on Warhol.
Sure.
And you came through on the phone.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that at a later date.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, man. Cheers.
Work. All right.
Jenny, do you think this can happen or what? You know what I mean?
Well, it can happen, Bob, but I need some time.
Okay.
Listen to me. We need time. I mean, we're on New Year's. We're in holiday time. You're going to have to give some reasonable time. Dealers aren't even open right now.
I know, but I'm like, I really, really want this.
Okay. How much are you really wanting to pay then? Because you can either have it fast and expensive, or there's going to be a cost difference for fast.
Oh, here you go.
All right. Very
Well,
good.
let's just agree to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year then.
Cheers.
Cheers.
New Year's Day or not, it's time to pack up and leave Channing's. We're going to check out this local scene, and my eyes are always looking for future places to shop for vinyl. So this really cool area called Winter Park is what I'm zeroing in on. And I'm just rolling a little video. I'm just taking in the local scene. I love color and I love music. So everybody is about 100 yards ahead of me, taking in the sights and the sounds, but I'm always zeroing in, and that's my artistic side, my filmmaker side coming through. You'll see my buddy Dan stroll into my shot here, and you'll meet him down the road. But I'm looking at color, I'm looking at the trees, I'm looking at the decorations, and everywhere I go, I am remembered about my father teaching me how to see and look at things differently. I can't pass a great looking piece of Detroit iconography like a Corvette, and the colors are just jumping off of this street. The bottom line is, if you open your eyes, there's art everywhere. And music and art go hand in hand. We stopped for a nice cold one, and I'm looking at the colors of the bottles. Everybody else might be thinking or talking about something else, but that's the way my brain works. And yeah, I can't get away from Andy Warhol. He's been stuck in my mind ever since our conversation by the pool, and I'm thinking how great it's going to look on my wall when I get back home. Even in the bathroom, they have Warhol art, as Dan pointed out. So you're seeing what I'm thinking right now, and that's just the way my brain works. Nighttime was even cooler in this little park, Winter Park. And we're definitely going to be coming back, and we're definitely hitting the shops, hopefully, with a Stanley Mouse. We finished the night off with a great meal at a place called the Ravenous Pig, and we've had a great visit with our gracious host Channing and our great friends Dan and Sherry. So it's soon time to get on that plane and go home. But you know what? I really, really like the fact that we stopped in Orlando.
One of the great things about being Detroit Bob is people start sending you stuff related to records. So this is my buddy Dan from Detroit. We used to call him Throwing Dan Cohen, but he goes by many names, and I know one thing, he's a big music fan. So let's see what we got in the bag of tricks here. Ooh, look at this, 45s galore. All right, I just got back from the frame shop, and the Warhol has been framed. So Detroit Bob is very excited. This was a gift from my art dealer collector friend Channing, and I have a perfect spot in the vinyl lounge for it to go.
Oh, wow.
That.
Wow.
I mean, is that cool or what? So it really, really pops. You got John Lennon, you got the Warhol signature, and you got the pinstripe, which is totally matches the blue and really, really makes it look great. It's going to be a great addition for the vinyl lounge. All right, I got a perfect spot for this to go. Right here in the vinyl lounge, I got this little blank wall. And what's nice, it will be directly above my Philips mid-70s turntable where I play and listen to my 45s. Our last one, Spawn, was The Clash. It's still on the turntable. And ironically enough, we have the famous phone. So one thing about Channing, when you need something, you pick up the phone and you call him. So he actually gave me this, which I think is also very Warhol-esque and is going to fit really nicely in the vinyl lounge with the John Lennon Warhol. If there's one thing I've learned about Channing is when I call, he delivers. Hey Channing, you're gonna really like this episode. The Warhol is ready and I'm ready to throw it up on the wall in the vinyl lounge. So check it out. What does Andy Warhol have to do with rock and roll in 45s? Well, check out a band called the Velvet Underground, and the most famous album cover that they ever had is the one with the big yellow banana on it. Andy Warhol. He also helped manage the band, and he was a king promoter. If you remember his Campbell Soup art, he was a graphic artist that exploded on the scene in the 60s and really, really gave credence to the New York vibe and scene. So if you can get a Warhol, even if it's a reproduction, in your collection to hang in your vinyl lounge, do it. Hey, Detroit Bob, let's look at our Florida finds too. Boy, am I getting close on this Vee-Jay. You got Big Girls Don't Cry and also Marlena. And we're getting into that territory, Beatles 498. So I got these as placeholders, and they're getting closer. Look at the pink vinyl on Driver's Seat by Sniffing the Tears. What a great find that is. And it's a twofer because on the back you got Wang Chung. How cool is that? So this one here, I Need You by the Rationals. These guys are out of the Detroit Ann Arbor scene, and Jack White recently featured him on the A Squared release on Third Man. Check out the pristine condition. This is a collector's item, and I have a feeling a collector owned it. Now, I'm not going to give away the next one because that was my gem of the week. Just when I thought I had gotten skunked on a second sight, I came home and I had a box of 45s. So if anything, 2023 was the year that I realized friends and family are huge. Dan Cohen coming through with the little Christmas gift. Channing coming through with the artwork. Dan and Sherry contributing their LP collection. And I really appreciate that. Let's go through the stash that Dan Cohen sent me all the way from Detroit. Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys. How cool is that? You got the traditional Capitol label going there. Remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Then you remember Candyman. Cracker Box Palace. Those of you who are hardcore George Harrison fans know this song for sure. Look at this. Bee Gees on Atco, and it came with the company sleeve. How can you mend a broken heart? I mean, if that doesn't make you melt down and cry, nothing will. Right on to Paul McCartney on the original Apple label. Everybody remembers this, Another Day. Just a great one. And continuing on, if I can get these off of here, we had John Lennon and the Plastic Oko Band. How cool is that? Not to forget a little Garth Brooks he threw in there. Check out these jukebox only releases by SEMA. Are those cool or what? And I got some more in the stack here. Hound Dog by Elvis Presley, backed with Don't Be Cruel. So how cool is that? And as we keep going, Dan came through with a classic by Al Green. Let's Stay Together. What a great, great record.
just in mint, almost mint condition, and it's got the company sleeve to go with it. And in true style, Dan was in the Christmas spirit, and he sent me Don't They Know It's Christmas in the picture sleeve. Everybody remembers this in the 80s when all the rock stars got together. So happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for those gifts. Just so you know, a total paid for all those 45s was $32. The median value was $71, and the high value on a perfect day was $298. So I think we did pretty good on that haul. Now let's get into record or gem of the week. This is it. Tell Me. I Just Want to Make Love to You on the Flip Side by the Rolling Stones. It's on London Records. It's a vinyl, 7-inch, 45 RPM mono single. Wow, bet you didn't know all that. The country of release is the US of A, and it was released in 1964. The genre is rock, and the style is blues rock, pop rock, rhythm and blues. I paid $6 for this record, but its median value is $20, and on a perfect day with the picture sleeve, it's been known to go as high as $100. What a great find. What a great record. Those of you who had Hot Rocks, how many had more Hot Rocks, the follow-up? Because this was the lead song off of that album, and I played the heck out of that album in college. So Tell Me, what a great song by the Rolling Stones, and that is our gem of the week. See you next week. I think we're either going to Sedona or France, so stay tuned. You'll find out.